Okay, welcome back. So in this video we're going to be using the properties of special quadrilaterals in order to solve for unknown values. So let's get started. If we look at what we ultimately have, it looks very like is a rectangle. Now with a rectangle, we know that each of the angles is going to be equal to 90 degrees. So we can already say that B is equal to 90 degrees. Alright. Now if we look at A, we know that with a rectangle we have these equal pairs of sides. So if you have two sides, they're going to be opposite each other and they're going to be equal in length. So A is also going to be equal to 20 centimeters. If we look at B, we have a kite. And we know that with a kite, the pairs of angles opposite to each other, so this one and this one, are going to be equal. So we know that A degrees is equal to 130 degrees. Now we also know that each of the top lengths are going to be equal to each other, and each of the bottom lengths are going to be equal to each other. So we know that B is equal to 9 centimeters. Okay, let's look at C. So C, we have these two pairs of parallel lines, which means it's a parallelogram. And based on our knowledge of co-interior angles, we know that when we have these parallel lines, these two angles here are going to be co-interior to each other, which means they have to add up to 180 degrees. We also know that these lengths are going to be equal to each other. So first up, we can say that B is also equal to 18 centimeters. And then to work out what A is, we know that A plus 75 degrees has to equal 180 degrees. Okay, so if we take away 75 degrees, A is going to be equal to 180 minus 75. Okay, so A must equal 105 degrees. Alright, let's look at the next three. So let's look at D. D, we have a rhombus, and rhombus have equal sides, so that we know A must be equal to 13 centimeters as well. We also know that the pairs of angles are equal. So this one here is equal to this one here, and these two are also equal. So B must equal 115 degrees. If we look at E, we have a trapezium, and the trapezium again has these two angles here that are essentially we can treat its length as a traversal that's gone across two parallel lines. And so what we need to know is that co-interior angles are equal to 180 degrees. So we know that A plus 45 degrees must equal 180 degrees. And that means that A must equal 180 degrees minus 45 degrees. So A is equal to 135 degrees. Alright, finally let's look at F. F, we have a square. And in a square, every single angle is going to be 90 degrees or right angles, so A is going to be equal to 90 degrees. And then we also need to know that what we have on each of these sides is that each side is equal. And if each side is equal, then B must equal 14 centimeters. Okay, here's a few for you guys to practice, so just give them a go and then I will solve them. Alright, let's get started. So A is a rectangle. That means that A must equal 15 centimeters and B must equal 90 degrees. If we look at B, we have a kite. Kite means that these two pairs of angles are equal, so A degrees must equal 120 degrees, and these two pairs of lengths are equal, so B must equal 11 centimeters. If we look at C, we have a parallelogram. A parallelogram has these equal sides, so we know B is equal to 15 centimeters, and we know that these two pairs of angles here are co-interior, So A plus 60 degrees must equal 180 degrees. And that means A is equal to 120 degrees. If we look at D, we have a rhombus. And that means A is also equal to 10 centimeters. And B must be equal to 85 degrees because these two pairs of angles must be equal. Alright, for E we have a trapezium, and we have two angles here cut by a traversal that ultimately means that they are going to be co-interior. So we're going to do A plus 55 degrees must equal 180 degrees. And that means A is going to be equal to 180 minus 55 degrees. So A is going to be equal to 125 degrees. Alright. Okay, so F is going to be equal to, we have a square. So all the sides are equal, which means B must equal 8 centimeters. And it's a square, so every single angle is 90 degrees, so A must equal 90 degrees. Alright, that's it for this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.